Senate moves to protect domestic workers.
But many people don't even know those who are working for them in their houses. Some of them don't even know the names of their men.
House of Representatives summon National Security Advisor over security breach.
This motion is referred to the Committees on Financial Crimes, National Security and Intelligence, Interior and Police.
Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. I am Praise Onwachuku. Domestic workers need to be protected from abuse and exploitation. Their employers too need protection from the criminally minded amongst them. These are among reasons that prompted the Senate to come up with a legislation that would aid registration and documentation of domestic workers in line with labor laws. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The Documentation and Protection of Domestic Workers and Employees Bill, sponsored by Senator Babangida Hussaini, elicited comments from lawmakers as they expressed support for the proposal.
In our country today, several Nigerians, in the name of domestic help and other domestic work, are virtually slaves in our country, and there is no law, no measure of government to protect these Nigerians.
This is a two-barrel piece of legislation. It seeks to protect our domestic staff as well as we, the employers of SEM.
We have situations where some domestic staff harm their employers, even kill them. Why? Because there isn't any proper documentation to know what's going on.
But many people don't even know those who are working for them in their houses. Some of them don't even know the names of their men. And it will also assist the country in terms of security, because it's a risk to bring people from Cotonou, Benin Republic, other places to work in your homes. It's a risk to your family, it's a risk to your children. And we've had a lot of incidents of this nature, where sometimes you go to work, you come back and the house is empty.
The bill passed second reading and referred to Senate Committee on Labor for further legislative action. The National Internship and Unemployment Benefit Scheme Establishment Bill from Senator Afolabi, seeking provision of safety nets for graduates, also passed second reading.
Provide a framework for these unemployed youth that we have captured to have an opportunity to work, even if it's 2-3 days a week. Take them away from the street, give them some hope, let them begin to gain experience while they are still seeking for full-time employment.
Make it compulsory that once you graduate, you're sure of internship. It will encourage our youth. And it will deal with these vices in our society, especially insecurity.
Bill to amend Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria Act, sponsored by Senator Adeola Olamilekon, and bill to establish a National Eye Center in Doma, Nasarawa State, from Senator Mohammed Onau, scaled second reading.
To bring the act up to current realities and ensure that ICANN remains adaptive, forward-thinking, and attuned to the needs of the nation.
The amendments are meant to strengthen the institute.
Laws are supposed to be organic and change with the changing nature of society.
The National Eye Center Doma, when established, will help to prevent and treat eye diseases, enhance and train more eye care providers and professionals alike.
6 bills passed first reading, among them the bill that seeks provision of sustainability allowances to the youth, elderly and indigents. Senate paid tribute to late Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, former Minister of Science and Technology, who died on the 11th of April 2024.
May the soul of His Excellency, a first-class scholar, a bridge builder, a great man of peace, Ogbonnaya Onu, rest in peace.
From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has expressed displeasure over the security breach that led to escape of Nadeem Anjarwalla, one of the detained executives of cryptocurrency company Binance, from custody in Abuja. To this end, the House has summoned the National Security Advisor to explain the circumstances surrounding his escape from custody, which lawmakers described as scandalous. National Assembly correspondent Mitairi Ikpen reports on this and other resolutions at plenary.
The escape from custody of Nadeem Anjarwalla, one of the two Binance executives being detained for alleged complicity of the company in money laundering and terrorism financing, is not going down well with lawmakers. They believe that the ability of Kenya's police to rearrest Nadeem with plans to extradite him to face charges in Nigeria cast aspersions on national security.
Further worried that the escape of the Binance executive from the office of the National Security Advisor using a smuggled passport is, to say the least, most disappointing, embarrassing, and disturbing as it portrays the porosity of the security architecture of the country to the world.
This motion is referred to the Committees on Financial Crimes, National Security and Intelligence, Interior, and Police.
Lawmakers also expressed worry over periodic attacks on schools in the country and the effect on school enrollment. The House therefore mandated its relevant security committees to interface with all security chiefs with a view to identify how best to secure schools and proffer lasting solutions to various security challenges in the country.
The fear of attacks has stopped many children from ever attending school again. Mr. Speaker, mandate schools to engage the services of private security outfits to complement the efforts of the security agencies in securing the schools.
The Chief of Defense Staff established a functional operational military base in Omala local government area of Kogi State for rapid response to the incessant herdsmen attack in the local government area.
Meanwhile, an ad hoc committee was constituted to investigate the death of a 4-year-old boy, Miguel Ovoke, a pupil of Brick Hall School, Abuja.
The young innocent child was reported dead under suspicious circumstances, which the school was unable to explain up to date. Worried that the parents of this deceased boy suspects a cover-up.
Lawmakers urged the Federal Ministry of Education to expedite the disbursement of stipends owed students studying overseas under the federal government's bilateral educational agreement scholarship.
Such neglect may cause our vulnerable students to stray into unwanted vices.
31 bills passed first reading at Wednesday's plenary, including the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board Act Amendment Bill 2024. From the National Assembly, Mitairi Ikpen, NTA News.
Nigeria's solid minerals industry is yet to be explored to reach its full potential that would increase the revenue base of the country compared to the economic benefits therein. Aimed at providing lasting panacea to the challenges confronting the sector, participants at an investigative hearing by the Senate agree that Nigeria's GDP is expected to significantly increase if the mining sector is fully integrated. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Ogunjide tells us more.
Declared open by the President of the Senate, the investigative hearing captured the need to comprehensively review the input and output values of the Nigerian mining industry.
We must dare to ask and investigate why our national economy continues to rely solely on crude oil. Why can't we infuse our economy with the richness of our solid minerals that abound across the entire nation and liberate ourselves from the shackles of oil dependence?
We must scrutinize the current state of the industry and identify areas that require reform, investment, and innovation.
No funding of personnel and infrastructure, exploitation of mineral resources, licensing of state companies, security against illegal minings are key issues in the deliberation.
These foreigners were shouting about as responsible for illegal mining are aided and sponsored by our own big people. On a daily basis, I get requests from virtually all states asking me to deploy the mine marshals in this area, in that area. They are not enough. We need to increase the numbers. We need to arm them more.
Steps towards mitigating the effect of illegal mining on the nation's economy is information sharing strategy for export monitoring as well as activities of miners.
With the collaboration with the Ministry of Mines, we identified this is a genuine miner and he needs those equipments to come. We facilitate that trade.
The transport and mining marshal is a quarter of the cost
consists of 2,220 operatives specially trained to deal with the menace of illegal mining across the country.
Our state government should be well represented in every conversation of this nature.
Key players agree leveraging on Nigeria's solid minerals potentials for social and infrastructure development is a must, as all hands are to be on deck. From the National Assembly, Joshua Oguchidi, NTA News.
In line with the international best practices in legislative drafting, the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies has engaged legal advisors and drafters in the State Houses of Assembly for a 3-day capacity building on legislative drafting technique. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that participants were drawn from 5 states of the Federation.
Freedom does not exist without effective law, and this explains the stanza of the national anthem. The 3-day training workshop for legal officers and drafters from the State Houses of Assembly and Ministry of Justice is designed to enable participants understand the skills and methods for undertaking legislative drafting, bill analysis, and scrutiny to improve their overall capacity in legislative drafting. The Director General, Professor Abubakar Suleiman, says the importance of the workshop as foundation of lawmaking cannot be underestimated.
The current state of the country requires an increase in the quality of legislations and policy in order to make significant changes in the way our country is being governed. Several factors influence the quality of our legislation. Significantly, there are 2 critical factors, which to me are content and procedures.
So where the lawmakers themselves and the legal draftsmen come together and are taught the things that ought to be done, then the work of legislation would be better and easier in our country.
The workshop equally helps us to go back and draft this law in line with the current international best practice, so that we don't go ahead and be drafting a law in such a way that, look, we want to show that we are lawyers.
The DG urged participants to look inward to achieve the desired objective. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Critical stakeholders have advocated for more inclusion of women participation in governance and policy making to enhance productivity. This forms part of submissions at the opening of a 2-day gender mainstreaming workshop for a staff of NILS organized by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies in conjunction with the United Nations office in Abuja. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
Available data reveals that despite extant legal framework that recommends 35% affirmative action of women participation, representation in governance still on the average. This workshop of Train the Trainer for NIL staff on gender mainstreaming is designed to equip them with the necessary tools and competency into policies, programs, and budgeting.
I'm very optimistic that NIL is strategically positioned in ensuring that women secure wider participation in governance by guiding policymakers to be able to make informed and evidence-based policies to enhance gender participation in governance in our country.
We wish to reaffirm UN Women's commitment towards gender equality and the empowerment of women in Nigeria.
We are lagging behind in terms of empowerment. Women are lagging behind in terms of education. Women are lagging behind in terms of health care services.
We need to do all that we can do. We're all very much aware of the level of participation of women, participation and representation of women in Nigeria, which is disheartening.
The training will expose participants to gender concepts and mainstreaming strategies. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Well, it's now time to pause for some messages. The news continues with stories from the state assemblies shortly.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
You're watching Parliamentary News reaching you from Abuja. Kano State House of Assembly has passed a resolution calling on the state government through its emergency relief agency to provide assistance to victims of fire outbreak at Lawan Dambazau Road in Gandun, Albasa. Representative Aliyu Yusuf Daneje presented the issue under a matter of urgent public importance during Wednesday's plenary. Samira Hamisu Shira reports on this and other engagements at the Halu Chamber.
Fire emanated from a mechanic workshop and spread to surrounding shops, which includes that of furniture, causing a lot of damages and loss, estimated at over 40 million naira according to the lawmaker, thereby calling on government's intervention in view with current economic realities. Still talking motions, Representative Shuaibu Rabiu of the Wakin Kudu presented a request for the upgrade of the Wakin Kudu Primary Health Care Center to the status of a general hospital, while Ahmad Ibrahim of Arai wants the state government to construct a route from Kusalla Junction NYSC camp to Dederi and Medi, which were all unanimously adopted. The House has been adjourned to Monday, the 28th of May 2024. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisishara, NTA News.
Kogi State House of Assembly has received 2 bills at plenary. One of the bills aimed at establishing the state's multi-door courthouse, while the other seeks to address the prevention of HIV and AIDS within the region. These bills were individually presented by members representing Lokoja 1 constituency and his counterpart from Lokoja 2, Umar Yusuf Aliyu. Jacob Sani reports that one of the bills takes precedence in the ongoing debate.
The plenary session stemmed from an earlier event.
2024 be adopted, say aye.
The reading of a bill targeted at combating HIV/AIDS discrimination while safeguarding the rights and dignity of those affected by the diseases. The proposed legislation seeks to not only prevent the acquisition of HIV/AIDS, but also curb their transmission among individuals already affected.
Permit me therefore to crave your indulgence, the Right Honourable Speaker and my distinguished honourable colleagues, in seeking your support for the bill to receive the desired consideration and accelerated passage, believing that our constituents living with and affected by HIV and AIDS will be protected.
The comprehensive 21-page private bill, comprising 42 sections, endeavors to streamline legal procedures, thus reducing citizen frustrations and expediting justice delivery by establishing a standardized framework for resolving disputes fairly and efficiently. As a co-sponsor of the bill, Speaker of the House Umar Yusuf Aliyu underlined the importance of establishing a multi-door courthouse system within the state, advocating for alternative dispute resolution methods.
I wish to call on my respected colleagues to support the free flow of legislative procedure for the passage of this historic bill. My distinguished colleagues, it will also interest you to know that this same bill, as part of alternative way in resolving conflict, has places like Lagos and other important states in this country practicing it, and it's really working.
Lawmakers, in their individual remarks, emphasized the timeliness and necessity of these bills in addressing pressing societal concerns. Jacob Sani, NTA News.
In an effort to improve teaching and learning in a better environment, Abia State House of Assembly has kicked against the relocation of Abia State Polytechnic, Aba, to Osisioma, but called for the decongestion of the main campus. Chika Okorie reports that the advocacy came to the limelight during the plenary chaired by the Speaker of the Assembly, Emmanuel Emeruwa, at the Legislative Complex in Umuahia, the state capital.
The entrance of the Speaker of the House, Emmanuel Emeruwa, into the hallowed chamber signaled the commencement of the day's proceedings. The majority leader of the House, who also doubles as the Chairman House Committee on Education, Uchenna Okoro, presented an oversight function report on the need to relocate Abia State Polytechnic Aba to Osisioma. He further made some recommendations bordering on the need to construct speed breakers at the school gate, build hostels, among others, to reduce incessant road mishap.
That the House should, as a matter of necessity, mandate the Attorney General of the state to amend the edict establishing Abia State Polytechnic and forward it to the House for passage in order to make the Polytechnic perform optimally. That the main campus of the Polytechnic at Aba Owerri Road cannot be closed down and relocated to the satellite campus. Rather, some departments, faculties in the institution could be relocated to the satellite campus in order to decongest the main campus.
After consideration of the reports at the Committee of the Whole, the Speaker of the House, Emmanuel Emeruwa, allowed the recommendations to pass through a voice vote.
Those who say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it.
Under a matter of urgent public importance, Chijioke Urukpa of Ubunabo State Constituency notified the House of the indiscriminate disposal of sewage in its area, which contributes to environmental pollution and climate change. The House Committee on Environment was drafted to visit Reked Sewage Disposal Company at Ubunabo and revert in 2 weeks.
That the waste generated renders the villagers and other neighboring communities unhabitable, contributing to pollution, climate change, breeding of mosquitoes, resulting to high incidence of malaria.
The House Committee on Environment should, as a matter of urgency, visit the site and revert back to us within the shortest possible time so that we can estimate.
However, the Deputy Speaker, Augustine Okezie, appreciated Governor Alex Oti for creating some relevant institutions, especially State Security Advisory Council and Security Trust Fund, to help improve the protection of lives and property of the citizenry.
Mr. Speaker, it is my utmost wish to appreciate the Governor from a personal angle as the Chairman House Committee on Security and Boundary Matters for taking this proactive and pragmatic measure in giving security is premium place in the state. And it is also my hope that these two bodies he has created will add value in our pursuit towards having a criminal-free environment in Abia.
In Umuahia, Chika Okorie, NTA News.
Zamfara State House of Assembly has approved the extension of tenure for the 14 local government councils' sole administrators in the state by 6 months. This followed the presentation of report by a special committee of the House led by the Deputy Speaker Adamu Aliyu Gumi. Correspondent Bello Sani completes the report.
Following the expiration of 6-month tenure of the 14 local governmental administrators in Zamfara, the State House of Assembly has approved the extension of their stay in office by 6 months. This followed a request to that effect sent to the House by Governor Dauda Lawal in line with prohibition of the law. Earlier presenting the special committees of the House report on the performances of the councils, the Deputy Speaker Adamu Aliyu Gumi says all the 14 local governmental administrators in the state have performed very well during their previous tenure, hence the need for the House to look for the possible extension of their tenure for another 6-month period. After an extensive deliberation by some members at the plenary, the Speaker Bilyamin Ismail Moriki announced the unanimous decision of the House to approve the the extension of tenure for all the 14 local government sole administrators by 6 months.
The recommendation number 1 to 3 on the report of screening of interim administrators of 14 local government of Zamfara State are hereby adopted to enable these personalities serve for an extension of 6 months as interim administrators effective from today, Monday, 6 May 2024 to the 6th day of November 2024.
Speaker Bilyamin Ismail Moriki has charged all the 14 local government council interim administrators to justify the competence reposed in them by ensuring good and quality leadership in their respective areas. In Gusau, Bello Sani, NTA News.
Well, that is the size of our bulletin. I am Praise Nwachuku, your guide. Thank you for watching.